Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell's condemnation of conspiracy theories seems to be aimed at calling out controversial Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. His statement reads, in part, "Loony lies and conspiracy theories are cancer for the Republican Party and our country." But Congresswoman Greene fired back, saying the real cancer for the Republican Party is weak Republicans who only know how to lose gracefully. This is why we are losing our country. USA Today congressional reporter Nicholas Wu joins us now. Nicholas, good morning. So a lot to unpack here. Now, this is among the starkest examples of this growing divide within the GOP. So let's first talk about McConnell. What do you make of McConnell's statement? The fact he said this, he also weighed in positively for Liz Cheney, but he didn't name Greene outright. He did, though, give some details that makes it pretty clear who he's talking about, suggesting that someone who said that no plane hit the Pentagon on 9/11 said that school shootings were pre-staged. So it's clear it's her, but he didn't name her. What do you make of all that?
Absolutely. I mean, it's an extraordinary thing for the minority leader to wade into House politics like this. Senate leaders usually avoid House politics and often use this as an excuse in a way to avoid answering questions from reporters about it. But for him to have taken a stand against this shows quite how concerned he is about this infighting among the Republican Party. And especially for someone like Congresswoman Greene, where Republicans are particularly concerned about future electoral prospects in a state like Georgia, where she's from. If they think that, further insurgents like her take a hold in the party, they won't be competitive in the future. And for McConnell, who cares very dearly about getting back in the majority in the Senate, that's got to be at the top of his mind.
It's a great point to bring up the fact that he is bringing up this sort of comments on her from one other side of Congress. So that is quite rare there. Now, Nicholas, let's talk about some of these conspiracy theories. So Greene has previously engaged with posts about the fact that some school shootings were false flag incidents, as they're called. Now, she appeared on One America News Network and reversed course. So first, let's listen to that.
These are not red flag incidences. They are not fake, and it's terrible, the loss that these families go through and their friends as well. And it should never happen, and it doesn't have to happen if we would protect our children properly.
Now, I think it's worth noting that on MSNBC air, a parent of a Parkland victim had mentioned that she had invited Greene to come on with her after she said that privately, and she did not. So now what's behind the change on her part? Do we know?
Well, I think thinking here among some Republicans is that, Congresswoman Greene, after being elected into office, might, reverse course and, express some sort of contrition for these statements that she made before she was elected to Congress. But, to a certain degree, the damage has already been done. To be clear, these school shootings and terrible tragedies did, in fact, happen. And, this was a Congresswoman who did traffic in these sorts of conspiracy theories before being elected to office.
Now, the Democrats are also moving to strip the Congresswoman of her committee assignment. So where's that stand? And also, how does it work?
Right. So first things first, Congress is given pretty wide latitude to punish its own members by a majority, by several different ways that they can see fit. But what's going on now is that Democrats are threatening to strip Marjorie Taylor Greene of her committee assignments, pretty good positions on the House Education and Labor Committee and the Budget Committee, unless Republicans move to take her off the committee themselves. But, she fired back on Twitter saying that if Democrats remove her from her committees, I can assure them that the precedent they are setting will be used extensively against members on their side once we regain the majority after the 22 elections. The thing is, it only takes a simple majority vote in Congress to remove someone from their committees. But this is something that's very rarely used. I mean, it's a rare step for the Congress in the first place to take action against any one of its own members, and even rarer for a majority side to do this against someone, let alone for comments that were made before someone was elected.
All right, Nicholas, thanks so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.